Hello, everyone. This is Bill Spencer. This is another of the Microsoft Teams platform training opportunities. And today we have Nidhi, who will be presenting on the Microsoft Teams app template called Expert Finder. Take it away, Nidhi.
Thanks, Bill. Hi, everybody. My name is Nidhi Shandilya. I'm a program manager in Teams platform engineering. And as you all know, Teams as a product is pretty robust and compelling. What we do in the platform team is take Teams as a product and make it even more useful, even more compelling for a wide variety of custom scenarios that organizations have for their needs. To that end, me and my team have this initiative called App Templates. We have a full catalog of wide variety of applications that takes Teams as a product and adds additional custom abilities on top of it to realize scenarios that are a bit more complicated from a product standpoint. So we've discussed or we've seen other app templates in the past. Today, I'd like to give you a quick demo of Expert Finder, see what it's all about and what are some of the cool things that organizations can do with it. So the basic premise around Expert Finder is it's a bot that helps locate expertise and helps collaborate with experts within an organization. Over the past few months, what we've heard from customers was, hey, it's really hard to find someone with a very specific skill set within my organization. I can look them up on Teams or Outlook, but I don't have full visibility into everybody's expertise. And when I do need a person with a specific skill set, it's really hard to find, and I don't know where to go. So we created this app. Imagine, having that sort of knowledge and power at your fingertips. You live and breathe your life in Teams. Imagine this is pinned on the left rail, with a click of a button, you can easily locate a person with a specific skill set. Let's say I'm an organization in metallurgy, and I'm looking for metallurgy experts for a consulting engagement that I have a customer for. I could have a full list of profile for consultants or employees who have that skill so that I can deliver value fastest to my customers. So those are some sort of scenarios that we are wanting to solve for this. So I'll give you a quick demo of how the app works and discuss some of the ways in which it differs from existing solutions and how you may augment it for your own needs.
This is great, Nidhi. I'm just going to say at a high level, really any large organization could use this.
Absolutely.
I mean, here at Microsoft, we've had a variety of tools to find things like who's working with a particular customer, or on a recruiting basis. The recruiters regularly go out and try to find people who graduated from a particular school in order to do recruiting at those schools in subsequent years. So is it any field is it customer defined what fields and what data is available for the experts? Like how you define an expert might have to do with their experience before they join the company. It could be what they're working on at the company. It could be their interests, hobbies, other things.
That's a great point, Bill. So it's not just for like experts in the traditional sense. It's being able to uniquely identify a specific category of people or specific people with either alumni as a filter or skills as a filter or expertise based on projects as a filter. So that's kind of the basic premise.
Right. I remember one time there was a search for a senior person who spoke Catalan. And, how would you find that?
Yeah.
And, this could be a solution for that kind of problem. What languages you speak?
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
So coming back to the demo, those are the kind of scenarios that this app would light up. But coming back to the demo, let's say you have an urgent pressing need for a quick a very urgent marketing engagement that has come through. You're an ad agency and you want to assemble a We team rather quickly.
Yep.
And how do you do that? So come to rescue Expert Finder app. The welcome message tells you what the app does, how it helps. There are two key attributes. One is you can search for people fairly quickly. The other is you can access your own profile very quickly. Why this is important is, people don't know where to go put their expertise or specific information in. There are a wide variety of sources available, but no one remembers where to go. And from a psychology perspective, that nudge to remember to go and update my profile when something changes is something that's really hard. So that's one thing that this app helps with. So let's say if I click my profile, it'll give me what my profile is. With a click of a button, I can see, what are the attributes from my perspective that are relevant to me. It gives me a quick overview of the key attributes here. I can see view more and see some of the additional attributes. I can click go to my profile, and it would open up my profile in Office profiles. So here's a cool nifty trick that everybody, all organizations that are on AAD have their version of Office profiles, but nobody knows about this. Like right. I myself did not know that I have a Office profile. My name isn't Lynn Robbins. This is a demo account, but literally.
But all of these are standard fields.
Yeah.
So the about me, the projects, skills and expertise, schools and education, interests and hobbies. These are all standard fields. None of this has been customized, but a customer could then extend this if they wanted to.
Correct.
Wow, this is powerful.
Do an experiment today. Open portal.office.com, and then from there, go look at your profile. I bet you that your own profile, you wouldn't have had these many details mapped within. So the default scenario is that nobody keeps their information up to date. This app at least helps bring the data into where it needs to be from the very get-go.
Well, realistically, this was probably developed for a particular set of customers, and it's just a feature we haven't really had a chance to promote. There are so many rich features in Office 365, but Expert Finder is a great way to surface this to help the organization collaborate more effectively.
Absolutely, Bill. Spot on there. So let's say your user data profiles are up to date. I can, once a month go in and update my profile. Even better, let's say every quarter, the bot kind of pings me and asks me, hey, has anything changed? Would you like to edit your profile? And I actually don't have to go to my Office profile to update my profile. I can very quickly make small edits right within the app itself. And all of this would work on mobile as well. So if I'm an on-the-go personality, or as my job role requires, I can do all of these things on mobile, on the go, as needed.
That's fantastic. So even in a first-line worker scenario, people who have expertise in particular areas of a retail operation or in a manufacturing operation, say with a particular kind of machine, that can be surfaced here as well.
Absolutely, Bill. That's a fantastic use.
Yeah, this is great. And, it's a great way to find out more about your colleagues, maybe shared interests and other things. But what I like about this too is the reminder. Now, is the reminder something that is set? How do you know to update this?
So we don't have reminder out of the box, but to add a nudge feature to it, that hey, once a month the bot should just nudge all users and say, keep my profile. Do you have anything to update? Those are sort of things that are easily added to the app. And then it's a good segue. This is open source. So the cool thing is that customers can add any amount of customizations, for example, once a month nudge, or once a quarter nudge, or nudge everybody once the project ends. Those are things that could be lit up really easily. Then they have a foundation to go off of.
Yeah, and I could see, at Microsoft, we have a regular review cycle. This could also be time with your reviews to sort of say, here's what I've, told my manager about and is now part of my HR document base, maybe some subset of that in terms of experience gained or projects completed, I'd like to put into my profile so that others in the company can find me. And this is all information I control.
Correct.
So none of this is created without the user's control.
Correct. This is all user-driven permissions. Whatever they put in here will surface back into the app.
That's great.
So imagine, like I, as a head of marketing, I'm just looking to assemble a V team. I can click search, and it presents to me, an easy way to go look for a specific expertise. Out of the box, we give you the ability to search for skills, interests, and schools. These are the same fields that are corresponding to the office profiles here: skills, schools, and interests. And then let's say I'm looking for people with marketing skills, and it would give me a list of profiles, and I have some metadata here to go off of. But to narrow down my criteria, let's say I select Adele, Megan, and maybe from a product perspective, Lydia, and see if they qualify, or I want to chat more or learn more about them. I have a quick, concise view of each of their profiles. If I click view more, I have a slightly more elaborate view. I can always go to their profile, which would again open up the office profile for this person. I can take a deeper look at it and see if they make sense for my project or not. And then once I've made my decision, or maybe from a lead perspective, I just start chatting with multiple people and then, go about my day. That's kind of like how I will get started.
Right.
Imagine a parallel scenario. Like a lot of times my search doesn't happen in isolation. I'm not looking just for myself. Maybe 2 or 3 people are having a discussion, and then they identify that, oh, we are lacking in this particular skill, or we need a person for this particular scenario. So let's say Megan, Isaiah, and Johanna are talking about digital assets web, and they want to locate expertise within marketing. Like, how would our go-to-market motion work here? So I can quickly search for skills right within the context of that discussion itself, select a person that would work for our needs, and have a collaborative discussion with my team around it. Like, hey team, what about Lynn? And then, everyone can collaborate around it. Hey, I've worked with Lynn in the past, and yeah, we should invite her to this team. I can copy this card and then drop it in other teams or other conversations. Those are all the collaborative scenarios that people often encounter when looking for expertise within an organization. So really, like, keeping the conversation contextual with a messaging extension, having a one-on-one experience from a bot perspective as well. Those are some of the attributes that the app has. I can also filter based on interests. A lot of organizations have interest-based communities where they want to cultivate and foster an environment of inclusiveness. That's another way where this could come in. Many organizations have alumni networks within their communities, so that's another way to surface information that way. Or new employees joining an organization, it helps them give an instant access to pre-existing communities or groups of people really quickly. So that's, in a sense, Expert Finder from an application perspective. As I mentioned before, this app is open sourced. It's available in our catalog here, aka.ms Teams App Templates. And then the open sourced application is available. And then from a deployment perspective, we've made it really easy to deploy this app. You don't need to be a developer to deploy this app. All you need is an Azure license, Azure subscription, and a Teams license. So the ability to upload apps to Teams. Following the documentation guide, you don't have to worry about, do I need a database? Do I need data stores or storage for my app? We have a one-click deployment method here. So a person who's fairly technical but not a developer can go on and deploy this app in about an hour or less and derive instant value. Mm-hmm. The other interesting aspect here is, as we touched upon this before, is being able to customize the app. So one could fork, a version of it and then add deep customizations to it. So for example, in the consulting organizations, they have their own systems of records for expertise that they'd like to hook into to this app. So they're not recreating the bot experience or collaborative experiences from scratch. They have a solid foundation to go off of. But in and of itself, it's a fully functional, self-contained application that works off of AAD profiles.
So some questions that are coming in are relationship with LinkedIn or relationship with Delve profiles. So is there anything that can be done to integrate with those to help populate these? We'd want the user to check to confirm, but it would just save time.
Great question, Bill. And then this is already integrated with Delve. So this is the Delve profile.
Oh, it is the Delve profile. Great. Okay.
But LinkedIn, of course, is a fantastic option to integrate off of. The reason we didn't do it out of the box was organizations vary in terms of their privacy and data requirement needs.
Yeah.
So this gives them the ability to pull in LinkedIn data if it's meaningful for their needs.
The user could always cut and paste from their own profile if they wanted to.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or there could be a solid LinkedIn integration as well. Like, for example, if I'm chatting with a bot, I can have something like, view LinkedIn profile here. LinkedIn has APIs that are open. So this in theory is possible. Again, would depend on what specific needs a particular organization has.
And this really leads to another question, which is, our customers that have a strong relationship with the Microsoft field organization could reach out to us and ask for that type of customization, and we could work together with them if we both agree that this makes sense. That's the kind of thing we could do. The reminders is the kind of thing we could do together with a strategic customer.
Absolutely. Those are all things that are easily doable.
That's great. Excellent. So anything else you want to show or any other points you want to make?
One other point is about hubot. We get asked a lot that, hey, how is it different from hubot? Or a lot of customers have wanted hubot as an open sourced app that they can customize to their needs. 2 points that are most pertinent here. Number one is being able to integrate it with their backend system, whether it be the CRM system where a lot of expertise resides, or a consulting bespoke system. Those are things that currently are not possible in hubot today because it's not an open sourced application. So that's why we spun this off, just to give more flexibility to our customers. And then number two is hubot leverages graph. So if you are searching for a particular person, it gives you information within your graph or within your bubble. It won't allow for searching across the entire organization.
Right.
And the reason is more about just the way graph permissioning and privacy settings are. We spun this off. This allows you to search across the entire organization. So whoever is putting their information, as long as it's captured in Delve and part of the organization-wide accessible information, that all will be surfaced here. So
which makes sense. I mean, people don't want everything that goes on in the team to go to members outside of that team.
Correct.
If you should know about it, you should be invited to that team, or it should be shared in some controlled way, not through a general search.
Correct.
I could see, for example, sensitive data around acquisitions or around any tented project slipping out if hubot did what you just described.
Exactly.
But hubot complements this because within your permissions, it will search through your conversations and posts in the teams that you're a member of. It will look at your Active Directory information, and it will look at the Outlook calendar information to help answer questions in hubot. This is really different. It's a way of going outside of your immediate area and finding experts across the organization, some of whom might be within your own teams, but the real value is going outside of your teams.
Correct. You summarized it perfectly, Bill. That's exactly what the key difference here is.
Yeah, and I think those really would be two different things. That sounds great. And the other question or observation I have is, I know of a large professional services firm, which just makes sense. I mean, you mentioned bespoke systems. I had worked in a consulting company, And this was the kind of thing we were talking about all the time. And often it went up to leadership to try to figure out those sorts of connections. This can help it flattens the organization so that anyone in the organization could share this information, which is great from a career perspective. It's also great from just improved collaboration. But I was also interested to hear that there's a manufacturing company that was eager to roll this out as well. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about the companies, not by name, of course, but just the type of companies where you've seen a lot of interest in Expert Finder so far?
So consulting organizations or servicing organizations is one. Another opportunity is internal mobility. A lot of organizations have a focus on recruiting internally within the organization, promoting people from within, or being able to offer employees opportunities to move laterally. So that's another scenario where organizations who really have that as a important aspect of their culture to surface that, make it easy for employees to move internally using this bot. Others are, as you said, industries where expertise can be really hard to find. So manufacturing, operations, where it's not as easy as like Silicon Valley having developers available everywhere.
And also for a variety of reasons, they tend to be very distributed. They'll have a lot of different manufacturing facilities, and finding that capability across them is really tough.
Great point. And then you touched upon this frontline worker scenarios where you have people in the field all the time. They don't get to make trips to headquarters or spend as much time in systems of records that are traditionally accessed on desktop. Those are the areas where this again gives them an easy entry point to keep the information up to date and locate and collaborate on expertise really easily.
Excellent. Great. Well, thank you so much, Nidhi. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover?
That's about it. Would love to help more and more organizations get this institutionalized.
Yeah, I like this summary that Matt just posted here in the chat, that Expert Finder leverages the collective brain of your organization. That's a great summary.
That's awesome.
So with that, I'm going to open for questions. So feel free to chime in with any questions that you have on the phone.
I have a quick one. Is there any like out of the box features that you're thinking of adding? Like, for example, in addition to people recommending like a Yammer group, if it's likely to contain the right expertise, or maybe even like typically it's hard to still find a person who's the right person, but you need a recommendation. Like, hey, I found somebody who knows something about C#, but who's the person who actually knows how to answer my question?
So yeah, you know that a person who knows C# would be able to answer, but your question is probably level too deep, like a person who knows a very specific aspect about C#, like almost wanting to know, hey, who knows about bot design? So it's more about bot plus design. I think that the simplest would be having slightly more complex queries in search. So just keyword-based search that's available. But the next step evolution or feature here could be, hey, what if this app could also understand natural language and parse through those aspects, or have second level of filters within it. So to give you an example, one feature could be that you search for experts and then imagine having a sub filter here that amongst the list that you've given me, give me people who match the specific criteria. That could be it. Or it could be the classic hubot style where you just enter a plain natural language query, and then hubot does the heavy lifting of figuring out which folks match those skill sets.
So Mornay asked a question, are the prerequisites for this either that side loading be enabled or that you have to have the app catalog for working within the line of business application?
So side loading isn't necessary. is like, but you would want the ability to have, you should be as a Teams admin, have the ability to upload an app to the catalog. So this would be, so as you see built for Contoso here, you should have the ability to directly publish an app to the App Store.